What's up, team? Welcome to the video. Today I want to talk about how much should a person weigh. Hey Mike, whether it's a client, whether it's someone, I just get random update pictures from people in the community, people I kind of know, people I don't know. What should I do? How much should I weigh? Should I cut? Should I bulk? And this one, the last video, can I build muscle and get abs, which was really more, I'm deep in a calorie deficit, but I also want to build muscle. What should I do? Because a caveat on that video is that recomposition is possible. It almost always happens with complete beginners to weight training, and it is possible for more intermediate strength training. It's just very, very tedious and not optimal at that point. But this is a little bit of a different question because there's two parts here. There's a psychological component, and then there is a practicality component. And we'll talk about the psychological component first, and that is, here's my physique, what should I do? And the answer, many of you might be guessing this, is you should do whatever you want to do. We get so much external feedback and we feel like we're trying to fit a build and fit into a mold of expectation that we often forget that how we want to look is the most, and in most cases, only real relevant factor. Do you want to be leaner? Do you want to have less body fat? And is the difficulty of doing that, or maybe it won't be that difficult for you in your individual circumstance to get a little bit leaner, is that cost worth the benefit of getting that outcome? It's often, should I try to build muscle or should I lose more body fat? Do you want to be leaner? Do you want to have less fat? Do you want to have more abs, more obliques in the immediate future? Or do you want your workouts to feel better? Do you want to get stronger? Do you want to add a little bit of size? Are you okay not getting leaner in the immediate future? And making that decision for yourself. Because I remember, anytime someone loses a decent amount of weight, call it at least 20 pounds, 20 to 200 pounds, to get abs or to get close to abs, you're going to get blowback in your life because you're going to look very different. And we don't walk around without shirts. I'm talking about your face, your skin tone. I don't have any physiological explanation for that, but just you look more ghostly deep in a calorie deficit when you're making that change, and people in your life are going to notice and they're going to say things. It's especially relevant for dudes because dudes pursuing abs look tiny. Basically, dudes who don't use steroids getting abs for the first time look small in clothes. Even in tight-fitting clothes, you just don't look like you lift. That first time getting down there. If you've spent time in a calorie surplus and you have some muscle on your frame and then you do it, maybe you'll look a little bit better. But you're going to get negative feedback. You're going to get, oh my gosh, are you done losing weight? Are you okay? Is everything all right? And those questions, having been in that position, I just want to punch everyone in the face. Go f yourself, keep to yourself, get out of my f***ing face, is how I feel. But you kind of got to smile and nod and ignore, particularly for people who aren't in the fitness community and don't understand that process. But you can't let those situations impact your decision-making process on what you want, because you need to act in accordance with what you actually want for yourself. Now, we're going to get a little bit more practical. We're going to use a little bit more of a specific example. We'll call her a 40-year-old woman who is pretty darn lean, doesn't have a ton of real heavy strength training experience, doesn't have a ton of lean mass on her. I'm actually guessing on the height, 120 pounds and 5'5", 5'6", but wants abs, doesn't have it, and where she very lean legs, very shoulder definition, arm definition, but in the midsection, just a little bit of stubborn body fat, no visible abs, and she wants abs. And what should I do? Well, we got to look at the psychological side of things and what do you want to do? And if it's I want abs, physiologically speaking, it is so much easier to get abs if you have more lean tissue, if you have more muscle, if you spend 6 months, going back to the last video, in a calorie surplus, a slight calorie surplus, adding some muscle, it's going to make the next, especially because we've been in a calorie deficit here for several months at least, it's going to make losing that body fat much easier. If we really want to put the pedal to the metal and continue to lose body fat, and for this specific individual, that doesn't even mean drop calories right now, it just means continue on the course we're on, but it might mean in the next 4, 6, 8 weeks, drop calories by 100, and continue to press and maybe up cardio a little bit, maybe like up calorie expenditure in some way. We can do that, and we can go that route, and it's going to be tedious, and I don't know how that's going to end up looking, because what we have to remember, we talk about steroids in dudes, a lot of the women that we see in the CrossFit community who are just jacked up, or in the bodybuilding community, magazine covers, fitness models, they use drugs too. Like the airbrushing, like there's just so much fake that goes into the optimal physique, call it a fitness model woman, but like getting diced up as a girl is much harder than getting diced up as a dude, and getting diced up as a dude isn't easy. So like having abs like your favorite Instagram person, and I'm talking to everyone right now, having abs like your favorite Instagram person, I don't want to squash dreams and use the word impossible, but very, very, very difficult, and you don't know to what extent that person is doing to get those results. So yeah, at a high level, the answer is you should pursue the physique that you really, really want and that makes sense for your lifestyle at this time. On a practical level, as a woman in a situation similar to this, and as you guys know, every year of your life, like from, I don't know, call it 20, every year of your life for women is going to be more difficult to get leaner. That's just how it is. 30 is tougher than 20, 40 is tougher than 30, 50 is tougher than 40, as you know if you have experienced those years. But yeah, from a practical point of view, if you're in a situation similar to that, if you have time and if you're okay with, and when I say build muscle, I don't mean Hulk, I don't mean like girl bodybuilder, too big and bulky or anything like that. I mean, we can add some lean tissue to like your posterior chain specifically, back, hamstrings, maybe like a little bit on your arms, glutes, we can like add a ton of that volume, and then we can revisit fat loss and like really try to get lean in the future. It's also really hard for women to maintain a six-pack. Like to walk around diced up is just, again, it's tougher for women than it is for men. But we can continue, we can be patient at this point because the calorie deficit isn't a huge burden on your life. We can continue to stay in the calorie deficit, we can continue to drop 3/4 pounds a week, and continue to train abs. Like if that muscle gain phase happened, having some direct abdominal training is going to marginally impact your future six-pack because having more ab muscle allows your abs to show through at a slightly higher body fat percentage. But yeah, we can continue on the practicality side to press and to get leaner and to see what happens. But I'm always cautious about setting expectations because we often have it in our head, I'm going to look like XYZ person when XYZ person isn't really what they seem to be. I hope this was helpful. It felt a little rambly, got a little long, was feeling it. Thank you very much for watching. Please hit the like button, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.